Here's how we found out about this ancient artifact looting or stealing story, if you'd like to call it. We saw the article in Archaeology magazine. Notice that there was an increase in drug dealers and people involved in drugs that were stealing ancient artifacts. And we wondered if it was happening here in New Mexico, since we're filled with culture and ancient ruins and a lot of artifacts still buried beneath the New Mexico ground. So we started looking into it. We talked to the BLM, and law enforcement officers said, yes, in fact, they are seeing an increase in this stealing from public lands, from taxpayers, basically. We also talked to the State Historic Preservation Office. We talked to the Bureau of Reclamation. We talked to Grants Police, where there's a huge Native American population out there, and noticed that all those agencies were seeing an increase. Grants, we found a specific case back from 2004 that somebody was accused of stealing some ancient leggings. They were made out of human hair, and they were Native American leggings. And they had stolen them from a cavern or an ancient land, a pueblo. We're not quite sure where it was taken from. The guy had taken it, he said, back in the 1970s, put it in his house. That alone is illegal. Then he had his stepson, who was accused of stealing those leggings, selling them to an accused drug dealer. That drug dealer is now serving time for taking those ancient leggings. So it is a huge problem here in New Mexico, and in fact, it's the third biggest problem for trafficking next to guns and drugs across the United States. We found that fascinating. In fact, it's a $5 to $6 billion a year trafficking problem. So we started looking into the problem. Notice we went down to the Dittert site, which is just south of Grants by about 30 miles. It's a Pueblo ruin that's from 1000 AD, and we found shards, pottery shards that were suspected of being from 1000 AD that were still in the area. People had dug them up, and again, that is illegal to disturb, dig up, do anything with them. Obviously, take them is illegal. And they had collected them at that Dittert site in one location that you will see we shot some video of and wanted to share with you. But just some ancient history that is still in New Mexico that we're trying to preserve, that people are basically stealing from the public, costing taxpayers, and selling these ancient artifacts for drug use. And we just thought it was a fascinating story we wanted to look into.